Once upon a time, in the sun-kissed Isle of Ibiza, there stood a place of supposed respite, the mongibello Ibiza. It was there that my tale of woe unfurled, a chronicle of disenchantment and sorrow that would test the mettle of even the most optimistic of souls. My journey began with the promise of tranquility, a quaint room with a view to soothe even the most troubled of hearts. But alas, the bed was not a haven of rest, but a veritable banquet for unseen critters. As I lay me down to sleep, visions of blood-stained sheets danced in my head, a grisly feast for bed bugs who dined without care. The morning light revealed the horror in stark clarity. I stood aghast as the management turned a blind eye, suggesting with a sly grin that I, not they, was to blame for this infestation. My wallet drained, I left, the taste of injustice as bitter as the dawn. The tale of woe did not end there. The restaurant's eatery, a place of supposed sustenance, became a theater of the absurd. I arrived, eager for a late-night repast, only to be turned away with a dismissive wave. The parking lot, a cruel jest, was reserved for those of higher status, the sweet dwellers, while I was cast aside. My vehicle towed into the abyss with a ransom of €245 demanded for its return. The laughter of the staff echoed in my ears, a mocking chorus that sang of my folly. Everywhere I turned, the hotel's staff seemed to vanish into the ether, their presence as fleeting as a summer breeze. I sat a lonely figure on the terrace, my calls for service unheeded, my existence unacknowledged. The meal I had longed for remained a distant dream, my hunger a constant, gnawing companion. The pool, a shimmering oasis, beckoned with the promise of relaxation. Yet it too was a mirage. The sun loungers, reserved for the chosen few, lay empty, a testament to the hotel's two-tiered tyranny. My pleas for a drink, a simple pleasure, were met with scorn, as if I had committed some grievous sin. The poolside service, a cruel farce, left me parched and forlorn, my thirst unquenched by the indifferent staff. My room, a gilded cage, was fraught with minor tragedies. The air conditioning, a temperamental beast, refused to bend to my will, leaving me to swelter in the oppressive heat. The toilet, a throne of inconvenience, lacked the simplest of tools, the brush to cleanse and purify. The shower oil, an empty vessel, promised luxury but delivered not. Each day I watched as my pleas for replenishment fell on deaf ears, my comfort sacrificed at the altar of neglect. The breakfast room, a labyrinth of disappointment, offered a feast for the eyes but famine for the soul. The water kettles lay dormant, their contents a mere memory. The coffee machine, a hollow shell, mocked my longing for a morning elixir. The frittata, soaked and sodden, was a culinary sin, its taste a bitter reminder of my descent into culinary purgatory. As my stay drew to a close, the hotel's final act of cruelty awaited. The storage room, a treasure trove of personal effects, lay open and unguarded, a beacon for the unscrupulous. My belongings, once cherished, now sat in limbo, bereft of protection, a testament to the hotel's disregard for the sanctity of my possessions. And so, dear listener, I stand before you, a soul adrift in a sea of melancholy. The mongibello Ibiza, a place that promised so much, delivered only heartache and despair. The laughter of the staff still echoes in my ears, a haunting refrain that whispers of a paradise lost. I reach out to you, my confidants, to bear witness to my tale, to nod in solemn agreement, to share in my sorrow.
Businesses near Mongibello Ibiza feel like a practical joke that forgot to end. The moment you leave the gate, you step into a ring where every cash register is laughing at you, and the prize for staying calm is an overdraft. I walked out expecting a gentle buffer of cafes, shops, and maybe a spa that smells of rosemary. What I found was a parade of broken promises wearing price tags that could make a Swiss banker blush. Hotels here treat basic comfort like a rare truffle. Take the very building you just slept in. Mongibello itself sells you a glossy dream, then hands you a room key that opens onto chipped tiles, a toilet seat that slides like a carnival ride, and air conditioning that sighs once and dies. One guest woke up with bed bugs doing the conga on his pillow management, suggested, in the politest possible Spanish, that perhaps he had brought the insects in his own suitcase. The same property guards its parking spaces like crown jewels. If you did not book a suite, you may return from dinner to find your rental car on the back of a tow truck, held for ransom at €245. They will wave the invoice the way a matador waves a red flag, and they will not blink. Step outside, and the shopping center La Serena greets you with fluorescent lights and the faint smell of plastic. The staff moves slower than a government website, and the clothes on the racks are last season, last season, priced above what the brands charge in their own flagship stores. One traveler asked for a different size and was told, without irony, that looking was not part of the service. Another bought perfume that turned out to be an elaborate photocopy of a famous bottle, the scent gone before you reach the exit. The cashiers chew gum in slow motion while you wait, and the line feels like a social experiment in how long a human can stand without oxygen. Drive 5 minutes inland to the celebrated Agriturismo at Cerro, where the brochure whispers zen and olives. Reality checks in at €600 a night, then hands you a wedding playlist that rattles the windows until sunrise. The spa masseuse may answer WhatsApp messages while your knots remain untouched, and dinner arrives cold, congealed, and twice refused. When you dare to complain, the staff disappear into the shrubbery, never to be seen again, like characters in a murder mystery where the victim is your wallet. The pattern is almost elegant. You pay premium, you receive improvisation. Towels vanish, soap dispensers are empty monuments, breakfast runs out of coffee, and if you ask for a refill, you are told the kettle is on holiday. Managers sign off emails with cheerful exclamation marks while charging your card for meals you never ate, and when you call to ask why, the line goes mysteriously dead, as if the island itself has shrugged you into the sea. So if you choose to stay near Mongibello, pack patience in industrial quantities, bring your own water, and perhaps a small toolkit. Assume every price you see is the opening bid in an auction you did not know you entered. And when the receptionist smiles and says welcome, listen for the echo, because somewhere in the background, a cash register is already printing your next surprise.